So, Sony announced officially today the PlayStation 4. They just had their conference, their 2-hour conference, which was pretty much impressive all around. The only thing we didn't see, surprisingly, was the console itself. And we didn't get a firm pricing on there. Which I kind of was expecting. You know, I at least expected them to show the console, but they're definitely going to show it at E3. And then they're probably going to also announce the full price and then announce the full release date. We did get a release window. It's coming holiday 2013. My guess, November. November seems like a pretty good month. The Wii U launched last year in November, and I think it's a perfect month to launch a new console. But definitely in the last quarter. You know, we have October, November, and December. I see November as the launch point. The PS3 launched in November of 2006, I believe, and you know, perfect for the holiday season. So definitely, I think November of 2013 is when they're going to be launching the PlayStation 4. We also got to see their DualShock 4 controller. It is confirmed they're sticking with the DualShock, which is perfect. You know, I have no problem with the DualShock controller. They showed it off, and it has a little bit of a screen right here, and then a PlayStation button, and then some big blue light bar, which actually helps identify it. There's like some peripheral that it comes with the console. It kind of looks like Kinect, but like in a different way, and it reads the sensor, which is the blue light bar, as right there as well. The triggers, from what I saw, look a little bit different. It's still kind of the same format, but they're more curved on the top right here, so they're easier to, you know, probably hold. A lot of people, that was the big issue with the DualShock 3 controller, the triggers, because they have a slant that goes down like this, and a lot of people are like, you know, your fingers slip off of it. I personally had like no issue with this. The only issue I have is when like early first-person shooters had you use the R2 and L2 buttons as the shooting and aiming buttons. Now they all, you know, just do the normal L1 and R1 buttons, but I didn't really have a huge issue with the triggers. However, they're built differently, so now that they're more like the Xbox 360, they curve up. So that's exciting. More so, we got to see actual live gameplay demos, as well as some real-time tech engines running on the system itself. Like I said, they didn't actually debut the whole system. They didn't show us, they showed us the controller, but we did get to see a live playable demo of Killzone 4, or otherwise known as Killzone, what's the name of it? They have like some subtitle into it. They're not doing Killzone 4, it's going to be called something else, which is, you know, kind of surprising, but essentially it is Killzone 4. I'm trying to go back on all these tweets here to kind of remember. Killzone Shadowfall, it's called. And you play as a brand new character, and the graphics for this thing are incredible. Alright, I'm playing Crysis 3 right now. I have it running on my computer, high settings, and the graphics from what Killzone 4 looked like. Now keep in mind, that was probably pre-alpha footage, or maybe even earlier. I mean, I doubt it was even in beta. So what they were showing, I mean, we're talking about real-time reflections off of the buildings. We're going back to Vetka now. It's the year 23-something. We're going back to Vetka, which is great, you know, because the first Killzone took place in Vetka City. I never played through the first Killzone. I did play a demo of it, but we're going back to Vetka. It's a lot more futuristic now. They're doing. It almost looks like they're going with you know, that nice sci-fi futuristic look, and it looks really awesome. The gameplay was running smoothly. From what I mean, it was a stream, and I had the stream on high quality, and it was running in about I think it was a 48 frames per second stream or something like that on Ustream. So from what I've seen, the frame rate was perfectly fine, like no slowdown whatsoever. The stream was, you know, it was stopping, it was starting again. There were some audio issues where sometimes the audio would cut out, but that kind of happens when over 2 million people are watching a single stream. Like, I tried to load PlayStation.com to watch the stream on there, and it wouldn't load. Like, the website just said, oh, an error processing your request or something weird like that. But nonetheless, I did get to see the stream. It just took me a while to get it up, and I was watching it in 720p HD, which looked great, except for when, of course, the problems persisted. Then it got all pixely at this one moment, and then the audio cut out. So a little bit of hiccups and annoyances right there, but as far as the gameplay, I mean, it was smooth. We're talking new weapons, new character, new setting, new everything for the new Killzone game. Looking great. You know, Killzone 3 ended off, you know, with this kind of cliffhanger ending that they were going to do a Killzone 4, and it kind of ended with, you know, basically saying, all right, well, it's going to, the next game, Killzone 4, or whatever, Shadowfall that they announced, is going to take place or continue right after the third one ended. And for what I've seen, you know, you're playing as a new character and everything. His name is Lucas something. I couldn't see because, you know, the quality was kind of up and downs. But you're playing as his new character, Lucas. I don't really know too much about him, but at the end of the demo, they pulled back from a third-person perspective, and he looked like more or less a soldier, you know? Not really like Sevchenko. He looked like a normal soldier. So we'll see how it all you know, unfolds as time goes on, but beautiful. Absolutely beautiful gameplay demo. Graphics looked incredible. We're talking about, like real high-quality stuff, even from the stream. You know, real-time reflections. The draw distance was incredible. You saw people from miles and miles and miles away with flying cars, people out there on rooftops. I mean, everything was just incredible. The way the characters moved, it was all motion captured. It was all beautiful. They were all interacting with the environment just gorgeously. So that was an amazing tech demo. Or I'm sorry, an amazing real-time gameplay demo that they were showing for Killzone and Shadowfall. And again, they didn't announce whether this will be a launch title with the PS3 at all, but if it is, this is definitely the type of game that's going to be a system seller. If they would just launch it with Killzone, Shadowfall, and a couple of the other games that they showed, instant system seller, a game like that. So really happy to see another Killzone, and one with a new setting, a new character. You know, it really looks like they're taking the game and they're just kind of, you know, giving it a fresh start for the new generation, which is great because Killzone 2 and Killzone 3, which were great games, they're starting to get a little bit stale. So Killzone's a great game, so I'm happy to see it. Next, Sucker Punch debuted a brand new game. I wish I could say IP, but it's not a brand new IP. They debuted the brand new Infamous, alright? And it's not Infamous 3, it's called Infamous, looking for the tweet here, Second Son. Infamous Second Son. And essentially, I guess you're playing as Cole McGrath's son. You know, I guess that's why the title is called Second Son. You're playing as Cole McGrath's son. And they were showing, it wasn't a real gameplay demo, it was just, you know, a trailer, a real-time tech trailer, more or less, of what the game was supposed to look like, the target renders. And the powers that they were showing that this guy has, I mean, he looks like that sort of punk kid. You know, that sort of like, oh, I have superpowers, I can do anything I want, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's called Infamous, you can be a bad guy if you want, but I want to see if that changes depending on his mood, whether he's, you know, a good guy, maybe his whole, you know, you know, just his expression, the way he looks, it all just changes depending whether you're good or bad. But basically, more or less, he had a lot of fire powers, a lot of powers with fire. He actually disappeared into this, into nothing but more or less particles. He just disappeared, and all of a sudden, just flames and like little, what do you call those? Little sparks of, you know, fire just vanished out of nowhere, and he just came out and just killed these one guy. So it's a brand new setting, a brand new city. It looks more, the art style is kind of cool. It's like a real, like, it's kind of like, you know, take Dishonored's like atmosphere of that, you know, steampunk society, but place it in a more realistically crafted world. That's more or less what Infamous Second Son looked like. But it looked great. It looked great. David Cage came on. Amazing, and he actually showed us a tech demo of the facial animation engine that they built from the ground up to be with the PlayStation 4. And let me tell you, this thing looks pretty much the best facial animations I've seen, but it looks so good I couldn't even tell that it was computerized. Couldn't even tell. It looks like See my face right now? See, you can definitely tell, like, these days you can tell the difference between, what a real video game character is and what a normal person looks like, Now, obviously, there are games that do really well at capturing facial animations, but you can still, you still can tell, I honestly couldn't tell at this moment. At this time, David Cage, I would say, and his team, Quantic Dream, they perfected more or less the facial capture animations. This guy looked believable. He looked like a normal human being. I'm talking about like detail, like so pinpoint accurate. I mean, it's indescribable what they're able to pull off with that. So I can't wait to see what their next game is. Beyond Two Souls is definitely coming out this year. I cannot wait for that game. Heavy Rain was my game of the year for 2010 when it came out, so I can't wait to see what they do with Beyond and their next game. David Cage actually said in an interview that he has the next 3 games already in mind, that once he finishes a game, he pretty much comes up with this brand new idea so that he's never bored. He always has something to constantly work on and move forward with. So, cannot wait for that. There was a new Capcom came up. Capcom came on and they announced this new IP. I forgot what it was called, but it's kind of like this dungeon, almost like this Dragon's Dogma in a sense. It's like that that dungeon dragon combatic thing. You're down there in the caves, and you see an actual real gameplay demo, I guess. And it didn't even look like actual gameplay. It honestly looked like a trailer, and they had like the heads-up display already there. The way the character moved, the NPCs were moving was, I mean, it was absolutely incredible. Amazing character facial models again. It really looks like this generation, I mean, they really are pushing it. Like, we're still getting impressed by this current generation that we're in, but the next generation, I mean, it's a huge leap. It really is. It's a pretty big leap. Not as drastic as from PS2 to PS3, obviously, but it is drastic enough to the point where it's honestly, you cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is not. I honestly believe, and these are titles. The first generation titles, or really the first iteration titles is what I should say. So 5 years down this console's life cycle, I mean, the possibilities are endless. So, next up, Ubisoft came up, and they had the guys from Watch Dogs come up and basically talk about the game, and they actually showed off a real demo of it running on the PlayStation 4. So, Watch Dogs is confirmed for the PlayStation 4. I'm definitely getting it on that system. All right, I was originally going to get it on PC. I'm completely redoing what I'm doing with the PC about my whole thought process now, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to get a new graphics card or whatever, but I mean, the graphics that I saw on the PS4 looked, in my opinion, slightly better than what we saw at E3. It was incredible. It was just absolutely incredible. So I cannot wait for Watch Dogs on PS4. The game was running smoothly. Graphics looked incredible. Just really, really great game. And especially a game like that with the PlayStation Network's new social features, which I'll talk about later. I mean, the game's looking absolutely gorgeous. But the new plan for PC gaming is going in effect basically immediately. What I'm planning on doing is I'm going to not upgrade my graphics card, but 5 years down the console's life cycle, so 5 years from when the PlayStation 4 releases, that's when I'll start getting back into PC gaming, alright? Because after, like right now, a game like Crysis 3 comes out on consoles, and it looks good on consoles, but it's noticeably better on PC. So, I'm gonna be waiting. That's my new rule now. I'm gonna be taking a break from PC gaming once this new console generation starts, and then 5 years down the line of that generation is probably when I'm going to get back into PC gaming, getting a new graphics card, probably building a new computer as well. So that's what I'll probably do, and of course I'll stick with PS3 40 the PC 40 exclusives. If a game like Crysis comes out and it's an exclusive, of course I'll stick with it. But multi-platform games, I mean, it's all going on consoles for 5 years straight. So that's my new plan. But a new gameplay demo of Watch Dogs, amazing. That is now my most anticipated game for whenever year it comes out. I think it's 2014. I cannot wait for it. I literally cannot wait for it. It's just going to be incredible. So happy that they showed it. Happy it's coming out on PS4, and happy it looks as good as it does. What else? Bungie actually came up and they actually showed us a gameplay demo of, well, really not a gameplay demo, but it was more like another developer trailer with some gameplay in it of announcing their new game Destiny coming out for the PS4. Now, Destiny is a first-person shooter MMO type game, which actually looks pretty cool. And it's now coming on the PlayStation 4, and get this, it's getting exclusive content on the PlayStation 4. Now, Bungie made Halo, and for a long time was, you know, Microsoft's pioneer developing studio was Bungie. And it's fun. I just think it's funny now how Bungie, you know, is now a multi-platform developer, and that's great and everything. But I think it's funny how now they have a new partnership with basically the enemy of Microsoft, PlayStation, and we're getting exclusive content on PlayStation. So Destiny is now a PS4 purchase for me. It's great. So that's awesome. And that was pretty much it. They showed off a couple of other stuff, you know, like Media Molecule came up. Nothing from Naughty Dog at all. Naughty Dog, they had a video of Evan Wells, who is the creative director, something like that, at Naughty Dog. He's like the guy in charge, more or less. And they showed a gameplay, or I'm sorry, they were talking about the PS4 and what they could do. So I think it's safe to say that Naughty Dog is working on Uncharted 4 for PS4. They just didn't announce anything. However, coming up on E3 this year, I fully expect Naughty Dog to, you know, to show us an Uncharted 4 game and probably announce it for, more specifically, a late 2014 release. Because the first Uncharted came out at the end, a year later after the PS3. So I think Uncharted 4 will debut a year later after the PS4, which will be great. I think that's plenty enough time, and you know, they can't end it with Uncharted 3, because Uncharted 3, they left it open. I think Uncharted 4 honestly should be the last Uncharted, and that's not because, you know, I don't think they can make more. That's just because I want them to preserve their reputation for being Uncharted, you know, which is more or less agreed upon the best third-person action-adventure series of this generation, or maybe even all time. And that was yeah, that was pretty much it. So the console, we got some specs. It has an 8-core CPU, and also a brand new GPU. It's all AMD. They said Sony came out right up front. You know, and they're honest. They said, we developed the PS3, and to be honest, it wasn't easy for developers to develop games on. They said that like straight out. You know, they were real with themselves. They honestly spoke the truth. They said, we developed it in a unique sense, and that's fine and everything if you want to be unique, but right now we're focused on what developers actually, how to make developers' jobs easier, more or less. And they said that that's what they're planning on doing. They built the PS3 with, and they talked with developers, and they had the developers personally involved in the process to make the PS4 architecture, excuse me, more easier to develop on. So that's really awesome. I'm really proud of Sony, you know, for sort of going out and saying that. It's great. So and it has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, the GPU has GDDR5 video RAM in it. I don't remember how much. I'm guessing a gig or two of VRAM, and they said it's actually a PC quality video card. That they didn't do, you know, some crazy thing. They actually used a PC quality video card, very similar to what you'll find, you know, like in a 5. Well, they didn't say specifically, but I'm just guessing what you'd find in like a 560 or 400 series, something like that. So they said it's much easier to develop on, and they're using GDDR5 video RAM memory, which is the fastest and most latest memory to date. And I'm guessing because it's a PC, you know, graphics card, the architecture that they're using, it'll probably focus on DirectX 11 as well. The Unreal Engine, they had a tech demo running in real time on the PS3, and it looked incredible. Everything ran smoothly. That's great. And pretty much, yeah, I was really blown away by this conference. I knew it was going to be pretty cool, but I mean, my expectations were like here, and the conference delivered like up here. All right, I mean, when that conference ended, that just assured me that, you know, Sony knew what they were doing with the PlayStation 4. So I really can't wait till E3. I can't wait to find out what else they're going to be announcing, what new information they're going to be giving us. I just think it's going to be awesome. So I mean that's my thoughts on the new PlayStation 4 that's been announced, the PlayStation 2013 conference. It's great. It really is. It's looking great. It's looking like a definitive console. Now Microsoft pretty soon has to come out and announce the Xbox 360. You know, because Xbox 360 came out a year before both. I'm sorry, a year before the PlayStation 3, and they got that like massive head start. So I think Xbox is going to come out pretty much. I would assume they have to at E3 and announce their new plans for the next Xbox. And we'll see, you know. But they, as far as the PlayStation Network features, I forgot to talk about that. The PlayStation Network features, it's been completely redone now, and it's amazing. When you remember, if you all remember OnLive, a little while back, OnLive was a game streaming platform, and it's pretty cool. But OnLive didn't do that well. But a really cool feature about OnLive is that you can actually spectate what your friends were doing live on you know, playing a game. So if you wanted to watch your friend play, I don't know, Batman Arkham Asylum, you can watch them play Batman Arkham Asylum live. And they now incorporated that into the PlayStation 4, so now you can watch your friend play live. So I know a lot of you guys who are on my friends list are going to enjoy that feature. At the same time, I'm sure there's going to be a way to turn it off. I probably won't turn it off, but I think that's a really awesome feature, you know? But I know a lot of you guys, especially from YouTube, are going to be sending me friend requests and are going to be watching me play brand new games when I get them, especially if I get a game like early or something like that. I think you guys are definitely going to enjoy that. So I got to get used to the feeling of I'm always being watched. But now your online gamer tag, you're still going to have your alias name, but now your online gamer tag is going to be synced with your existing social network. So you'll actually be using real names. So my profile from like Facebook would pop up as me, and then you'll see, you know, my PSN ID on there. So that's the way they're going to do it now. I think it's actually going to be pretty cool. We'll see how it integrates and stuff like that, how that works out. If it connects with Twitter and it sends like real-time updates, like I just beat this boss in this game, that might be a cool feature, but we'll see. And that's pretty much, you know, the gist of it. They said the new PlayStation Network is going to be built up to be focused solely on games. We're focusing 150% on games. We're still going to have movies and TV shows and other streaming services and stuff for, you know, entertainment as a whole, but we really want to focus on games for this network. And that, my friends, is something you don't hear from a lot of companies. Especially Microsoft, all right? Now, Xbox Live is, I think, pretty much more agreed upon is the better service. It's more organized. Let's be honest. It's more organized, and you know, they just got their content is better outed. They also have better access to, you know, content that comes out, and it's more it's not as maintenance heavy as the PlayStation Network. It's just more organized in a way. The thing with Xbox, though, and I'm really disappointed in them lately, is the fact that they're taking the Xbox 360, a video game console, supposedly, and they're turning it into a cable box. And I don't want to buy... I don't want to see the next Xbox say, hey, here's your next Xbox. Oh, wait, look, we're going to throw all these features in there so that you can watch TV real time, you can watch your Netflix and everything like that. And it's like, but what about your games? All right? My big problem with Microsoft is, I mean, I love the Xbox 360, I love the platform. But take all the third-party games and strip them completely from both PlayStation and Xbox 360, and now you're only left with first-party exclusives. What console would you rather own? Your Xbox 360, where you get Gears of War, Halo, Forza, and the Forza series? Or would you rather own your PlayStation 3, where you have, like, Uncharted, Killzone, Little Big Planet, Gran Turismo, looking at my thing, Yakuza series... you know, all these great exclusives, you know, that, I mean, Sony comes out with at least 3 exclusives a year. I mean, it's crazy, like, really, really, really nuts. They have a lot of exclusives, but each of them are high quality, respectively. The majority of them are all high quality in their own way. And I think Microsoft needs to really acquire some new studios for this up-and-coming next-generation system, because... really, I don't want to see another Halo. I'm tired of Halo. I really am. And I wouldn't be tired of it so much if they just changed it a little bit. But it's still Halo, and it's always going to be Halo. It's always going to be that, you know, generic third-person shooter. You know, it's Halo. You love it or hate it. It's one of those types of games, and they don't change it at all. So, I mean, and then Gears of War. There's no reason why we need to have another Gears of War. There really isn't. Get some new IPs, get some new studios. That's what I'd like to see. So, I just hope that Microsoft focuses really on games more than entertainment as a whole, because, you know, I mean, it's really stupid stuff, you know, but I don't want to enjoy. I don't want to feel like my Xbox is more geared towards ESPN events rather than what I have in my gaming shelf. You know, I want to feel like when I pop a game into the Xbox, this is my game console. Not this is my game console. This is my kill box. This is my internet browser. This is my music player. This is my picture viewer. And so I don't want like it to be focused on all these features, because when Microsoft focuses on all these different features, all of them end up being, you know, all end up being integrated, but each of them feel less or feel like they have less quality because of that. You know, you can't multitask on multiple things at once and then produce the same results as you would if you just focused on one thing solely. That's what I'm trying to get out here. So I'm excited for the PS4. I actually went on GameStop. I put my name and email address in. You can now do that right now to be the first to know when the pre-orders are up. So as soon as that thing gets a price probably over by E3. As soon as that thing gets up for pre-orders, I'm rushing over to GameStop. I'm pre-ordering it because that console is a day one purchase for me. Super excited. Super excited. So, also, I want a personal thank you to Sony. They actually sent me, it's funny, after this conference I went on to see what's new on the PlayStation Store. I got a message, and Sony sent me $10 for free. They said, thank you for being a loyal PlayStation customer. Enjoy $10. We appreciate your loyalty, more or less. So thank you, Sony, for sending me $10 for free. I mean, just what this company just gives. I feel like this company gives. It's nice. It really is. And I'm a part of the Xbox Live's VIP rewards program, which is a great rewards program as well. So let me check the time of this video because I do want to explain something else. I can explain this really quick. I'm kind of reinstalling. So, by the way, the Crysis 3 first 30 minutes, why isn't that video up? So the whole thing's recorded, right? Here's the whole thing, the whole video. It's all recorded. You know, I just want to show you guys. It's all recorded and fine, but why aren't you seeing it, right? Because when I edit this thing in Vegas, what happens is that it looks perfectly fine like how I want it in Vegas, but when I finally rendered the video, the commentary and the audio become unsynced. So watch. This is not the right video. I freaking deleted it like a bitch. But so, I mean, I'm just dealing with some issues here. I have to get a new editing program. So once I get Sony Vegas 12.0 or Sony Vegas 13.0, whenever that comes out, I'll work on getting those. You know, I'll work on getting more videos up sooner, but I just want to let you guys know I'm just running into rendering issues, so that's why the first 30 minutes aren't up. But I'm playing the game, and I'm enjoying it somewhat, so I'll let you guys know how the review is. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about the PlayStation 4, and I appreciate your interest in this long and hopefully very informative and interesting video. See ya.